yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Happy Tuesday, children of the lawn.
Children of the lawn, happy Tuesday.
Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend.
Did you have a great holiday weekend?
I did.
I know you did. I was here. I saw you having it.
You saw me having it?
I helped you have it.
There you go.
I helped you have it.
A little help from my friend.
So, here we are. And tonight, we've got a 2 for Tuesday.
Ooh.
Oh, it looks like, oh my goodness. I guess they're, yeah. Anyway.
What?
Well, I see Sonny's in the room and waiting, and I thought I saw Tiny, but he must have disappeared. Anyway, you all know SCB, aka Southern Cross Band. They're doing a reunion, and we're here to talk about it.
Well,
and it's funny.
Is it this month? It is.
It's
soon.
Yeah, and is Mousy doing it? Who's doing it?
Yes, Mousy.
I mean, this is just,
She's
you
doing
know.
sound.
And you can see it if you are near there. You can see it. So
We're
you know
in
what?
New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, where are they playing? I will find. You know
what? They'll be here to tell us all
we'll
about
find
it.
out the answer to these and other exciting questions after
After
lunch.
Okay. Well, we watched some good tennis
Wow!
match
Wow!
on freaking Sunday.
I mean, you know, I used to watch people watch golf and think, you know, how do you do that? But play the thing.
You went to see the U.S. Open before.
I went to see,
married.
yeah. I was at the U.S. Open, I guess, probably 38 years ago now.
Yeah, is that how many it's been?
I don't know. When did we get married? 84?
Minus 1984.
It's a calculator.
38, yes. 30. You were there about 38
38 years ago now, yeah.
Steve did get some color. He'd been swimming in that pool with that dog.
That dog is going to drown me yet.
I was swimming too.
Yeah, guess who was in the pool?
I was.
What happens is he
scratches you.
well, yeah, but he doesn't see. That sounds like he does it on purpose. He doesn't do it on purpose.
No, he gets excited.
He has his frisbee that he likes, and it sinks it'll float if it lands upside down, but it'll sink if he tips it over or if it gets some water. Now he will dive up to a depth of 3 feet.
Yeah, and he'll stay down there for a long time.
But he doesn't go any deeper than that. He won't go like to the bottom of the pool. He stands up at the shallow end, but he won't go, swim down to get it. So of course I have to get it. And if I dive down to get it, because he knows where it is, he's swimming around in a circle.
He's swimming around like a shark.
And if I go down to get it, then he's like, okay, I know what's coming up. And if I come up and don't put it out here or get rid of it somehow, I get, because he's just going so crazy. He wants the frickin' frisbee. So I have to trick him. Most times I'll just hold on to the coping and push myself down to the bottom and scoop it up with my foot, because he loves that frickin' frisbee.
He does.
And
even more than that, he loves for one of us to be in there with him.
And he's some greedy bitch too. Like, I'll throw the frisbee to one end of the pool, right? I'll be in the shallow and I'll throw it and I try to skim it across the top upside down so that it doesn't sink. And then he'll, okay, I'll get my frisbee now and I'll give it. But if I push off and start passing him, he turns into frickin' Rin Tin Tin.
He's Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he's Michael Phelps. And
he's his father's child.
I couldn't. What was that?
I don't know.
We're hearing all kinds of weird shit today. I mean, it's just crazy. And, Friday is Free for All Friday, but there's a couple of things happening Friday. I don't know. I won't get into them today, but one of them is they start taking pre-orders on Oxzoom Volume 1. But I didn't say that, did I? I got to tell you what, I'm pretty thrilled about it. I'm really excited about it. The first single drops a week from Friday on the 16th, and it's like...
That's the first time that you've had a single drop.
That's right. This is the first single I've had drop in...
Well, no, because in the olden days, they didn't say that.
In the olden days?
You know what I mean?
No, in the olden days, people called up the radio station and said, "Don't say that!
They cranked that thing.
Did you say something bad about the band?"
But like now,
in the
it
olden
drops,
days.
man.
So now it's dropping, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to listen to it in the car, but I didn't.
Because
I got too many green lights.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And distracted driving.
Mm-hmm. And down here, that's a death sentence.
Yes,
I mean,
is.
you are, you better have, in Fort Myers, you need your insurance company and the police on speed dial for a number of reasons.
Man, our neighbor called
Oh,
me up
yeah.
at 10 o'clock the other night.
Well, luckily I was playing my drums.
They're very cool neighbors. They're younger than us.
We got the best neighbors on earth.
They really are. We love them. Chase, Amy, we love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Cash, Carrie.
I do.
Cash, Callie.
Cash and Carrie.
They named the kid Cash, and then they had a little girl, and we just said they should have named her
Carrie.
They'd have Cash and Carrie, but they have Cash and Callie.
And I don't even know if that's a thing anymore.
Cash and Carrie.
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, he called us up and he said, "Man, the cops just came to my house," and we were like, "What?" And they said they got a 911 call from, what did he say?
From that location.
Vicinity or something.
Yeah, they get the ping from it, but whoever made the 911 call hung up so fast they couldn't pinpoint the location.
But the cops wouldn't tell them the number.
Cops wouldn't tell them the number. Well,
Yeah.
if you know the number, you can go figure out who that is, can't you?
So somebody could
sir?
have been standing in their backyard and called 911 and, kids or whatever.
Well, let me just tell you this, okay? And
so watch out, people.
I got to start. My buds are almost here, and there was a guy who decided he was going to take advantage of a telemarketer. What?
No, the telemarketer was pissed off.
No, but can I?
Yeah.
Can I tell the story? You tell the story.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I just did.
Guy gets a call from a telemarketer, and the guy decides he's going to fuck with the telemarketer and tell him all these crazy things and keep him on the phone. And, oh, yes, wait, let me get my pen. Oh, I dropped it. I'm having a stroke. Whatever he was doing. And the telemarketer finally realized he was being punked and got pissed off and called a 911 call in saying homicide in progress.
No, he said, "I just killed my wife."
Oh, I just killed my wife. Okay, same thing, right? I just killed my wife.
Okay. I just
from
killed
the
my
guy's
wife.
phone. From the guy's phone.
Well, no, because he hacked the number.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The telemarketer hacked the guy's number.
Hacked the guy's number, called 911 from the guy's number, and the SWAT team came. I just killed my wife. Okay, hello. Hi, has anybody killed their wife here? That's not how it goes down. It's like, boom, front door, gone.
Yeah. Well, now Tim says, "Steve, you are so blessed to have a lovely wife."
Yeah, you should have been here this morning. No.
No, that was yesterday.
No,
the day before.
It is not.
Was it this morning?
Let me tell you what. I am blessed in more ways than I choose to count, and I'm grateful for every one of them. So.
Well, see, the thing is, neither one of us are passive, and both of us are pig-headed. So, there's some Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, only without not quite so many diamonds.
I don't.
There's no Richard Burton. No, Richard. You're going to compare us to Richard Burton? My God. People marvel at how much time we spend together and don't kill each other.
We do. We
So,
spend
come on.
24/7 together.
For years. We've been in this house together for years.
Ah! Here's Johnny. Oh, what time are our guests?
Showing you my knife. They're probably. I think I see.
Are you showing me
George-
tonight?
Yeah. Well, George is here.
George?
Yeah, George.
We don't have a George.
Check out the style. He's styling.
It's Sonny.
George.
George?
Yeah, George, Sonny.
His name is George?
No, his name is Sonny.
I thought it was. What is Sonny like? Means George,
Listen,
like
when
John
Son-
and
no,
Jack.
no. When Sonny gets blue, his eyes get gray and cloudy.
What the fuck, man? Why'd you say
Sonny,
George?
come in and rescue me, bro.
Hey, Sonny, is your name George?
His last name is George. It's Sonny George, but he changed it.
He was really.
Oh, they're both
I don't
here.
know how they got. I don't
Ah,
know how John turned into Jack.
2 for the price of 1.
What's $1?
take your time, work it out. We're good. We got plenty. We're good. We're
Yeah.
good. I didn't realize you guys would be on the same feed.
Oh, it does say George.
I mean,
Michael,
George.
don't
is
even
she
go to my middle
snappy
name.
or what? I mean, is she like on it? She said, it says George. I said, that's his name. She said, I thought his name was Sonny. She says, does Sonny mean George?
Well, okay, Sonny Bono was really George Bono.
No, he wasn't. Who said that?
Sonny means George.
No, I didn't. You
George Michael was really
George
Sonny
Michael.
Bono.
Sonny, is your name not really Sonny?
My name is George.
My name is
Why do
George.
they call you Sonny?
It's his
Because
disposition.
my Irish aunt decided that there was too many Georges in our house. My dad's was George.
Okay.
No,
All right. So not everybody that's called Sonny is George.
no, mostly Sonny right now.
She's talking about, the John Jack thing when somebody's
Yeah, I
name
don't
is
know how that
John and
makes
they call
sense.
him Jack, or, somebody's Thomas. Well, not Thomas.
No.
Like in England, if your name is Clark, the nickname is Nobby.
God.
Tiny. You know why they call you Tiny? Because you're
Yeah.
so tall, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
We figured
Right.
that right. I'm
How
telling you,
tall
man.
are
She's
you,
on.
Tiny?
I'm only about 6'3", but when I was a
Oh,
kid,
okay.
I was much bigger than everybody else. I had a growth spurt like when I was like 3 years old or something.
I think he was
3 years
6'4" at one
old?
point.
Oh yeah, I was about 6'4" when I was about 13 or 14.
Yeah, I think I hit 6'4" for a little bit in my late teens, and I'm settled out at 6'3". So
Yeah.
you and I can use the same guitar strap.
Right.
Oh,
That says
wait a
Richard
minute. This is not
Dick.
fair. Stop the presses.
What do you see?
I
A
see a
guitar.
Rick. I see, is that a 360? What is that?
That's a 360, Rick.
Wow. My fave.
What is it that?
The
fire glow.
The fire glow. It's a
He likes those
360
fire
12.
glows.
Yes, it is.
Oh. But the guy, the lead, Dr. Bruce in the Vernon Kelton band just bought
Double neck.
a what?
Double neck?
No, not a double neck. What's the one with the binding and the contoured top? 381.
Yeah, it could be.
I have no idea, man.
I'm not
The
sure.
370 is the 360 with three pickups.
I can tell you what he bought.
But yeah, yes. Well, go ahead.
I will. I have to look it up.
So hey, man, I first of all, let me thank you guys for coming. I'm so happy to be able to promote your event. But more than that, I would have been extremely proud to throw down with you guys.
Oh, that would have been
Oh.
awesome, man.
It would have been.
So thank you for that. That would have been cool.
Thank you for having us tonight too. This is great. We get a chance to come in and talk to you again, and this is excellent.
Well, listen, I'm not retired. I see. I'm with Serena Williams. She doesn't call it retired. She calls it evolving.
Yeah, and she might evolve back to tennis.
Right. So I might evolve to an SCB gig. We'll see.
I call it reinventing. That's what I call it.
Yeah,
I like
there
that
you
too.
go.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always been called that. If you, well, AKA the music business. But
When is your gig?
yeah, what is? Yeah, give me the 411.
Okay, the gig is this Sunday at
Oh,
The
Ooh.
doors are going to open at 2 o'clock over in Manasquan, New Jersey. It was formerly known as the Osprey Hotel. It's called the Osprey Nightclub now. The Osprey's been in business since 1946, I think. It's like
Yeah, I've heard some stories. I've never been there. I don't think I have. I might have been, but I've heard some stories.
so. Of all the places that we used to play back in our heydays, when you and I we were all on the circuit together, the Stone Pony is still in business. Joe Pop's in Long Beach Island is still in business, and the Osprey. They're the only ones. The Bordy Barn I think just closed or something.
So
So
close.
Yeah, we heard that it
Yeah,
was.
yep,
Okay,
yep.
so wait,
Well,
I'm typing this out. You're playing Sunday, September the 11th at the Osprey Hotel. And where is it?
Manasquan, New Jersey.
Yeah, you're gonna have to spell that.
Okay, Manasquan.
Manasquan.
Got it.
Nice,
That's a
nice.
nice Indian
Native
name.
Got it
American
in one.
name.
Nice Indian name. And
So,
the Osprey Hotel, is it really a hotel?
What is it?
It's called the Osprey Nightclub now.
Osprey
Osprey Nightclub.
It's right across from the ocean and boardwalk
So
and stuff. And
there actually is a hotel there above the nightclub, and it's going to be closing very soon. They tell us. We would have probably been able to fill some rooms up if it hadn't been people getting this stuff out after the season. The season just ended, and the bar is now only open from Labor Day or from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and they stayed up an extra week so we could do our show, which we really appreciate.
And is it only one? Is it only one show?
Yeah, it's one show.
we started at 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay, I
And
didn't
God
know.
knows when it ends. Is it one of those?
Yeah,
It's
well,
one of those, yeah.
we are very, very excited, and we're getting all kinds of stories from people going from. One guy was going from California to pick up somebody in Florida to come up here to bring their parents up who have been cremated, by the way, the cremains.
Wow.
So, I mean, leave it to me to bring.
Well, yeah.
No, that's fine. Believe me. You know.
Hey, they're also a
sooner-
better place.
That's
Sooner
my
or later-
trademark. That's my trademark, by the way.
Sooner or later, you earn all your fans.
That's right. That's right.
No, man, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it's
Mousie's doing sound.
yeah, Mousie's doing sound.
Oh my goodness. So I've got to say, I was a little nervous relearning all these old songs, which we haven't played in so many years, and some of them are a little challenging. And I got past that. It was starting to get really, a lot better, and starting to feel comfortable with everything. And Mouse is doing our songs, by the way, or doing our sound, and she knows all of our music very, very well. I mean, to have a sound person, you know this, Steve, it just that knows what you're going to be playing is such a head start on everything sounding pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's essential. It
So
really
Mouse
is.
is very dedicated to. We love her. We have the same birthday, by the way. We're born the same day.
When is
So
that?
not the same year, but the same
When
day.
was that?
January 19th.
Oh,
Okay.
Aquarius?
Last day of Capricorn, first day of Aquarius. Triple Aquarius, I've been told. That's what it is.
Oh.
Cusp. So anyway, so Mouse knows all of our songs. She's got an excellent sound system. She's told us we're going to bring our own system in there, even though they have a house system. And we're going to be filming the thing, and we just found out that it's possible to have a multi-track recording of the whole thing too. We're really hoping it comes off good. I just have this feeling that, and the person that's doing that is Dan Tepper, who's done some amazing audio recordings, and I just got this feeling it's all starting to click together. You know what I mean? I'm very excited about it. And Tony and I started really tweaking out our guitar parts today, right?
Right. It started coming together when the two of us get together. They come together a lot faster. And then you're
It's
sitting there with-
it's I'll tell you. I think I think it's great that the people are still connected to the music, and no matter what, it was that Thursday night or that Sunday night, that somebody was there and heard whatever song, and it changed the way they, felt for the rest of the summer or whatever. I mean, we were a part of a a moment in time that connects us to it's not that it's a small circle, but it's a sort of a concentrated circle, of fans that you were either there or you weren't. You either know what we're talking about or you don't. And it was, when I reflect on it, it was such a magical time. And I would think that I would look back and say, man, I should have done this or I should have done that. You know what? I look back on it like, yeah.
That's the way I look back at it too.
There you go.
You can't change anything, or the house of cards comes falling down. And anyway, I've heard stories of people were watching your band, and they meet for the very first time their eyes, and they fall in love, and now they've got grandchildren. Like this is what these are the stories that we were still hearing these kind of stories.
Yeah, we hear those about rat race too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it's we've all had fruitful careers beyond those halcyon years, but it wasn't so much as the level of anything, it was the vibe of everything. Mm-hmm. And it was our version of Laurel Canyon, you know what I mean? There was always a place to play. There was, and the musicianship was always excellent, because you didn't even compete if you weren't coming, loaded for bear. If you weren't doing your thing as good as it could be done, you weren't coming out. So the only bands that you saw, and the only bands that I ever got to know in one way or another, were the ones that were always in the Aquarian or the Good Times or the, More Sugar or whatever they all were.
The clubs that had two
Yeah.
stages, or
Yeah, the clubs. Right, the clubs that had Glen Island was good.
Hammerheads.
The big one was good. Double. It was just such a. It was
Although,
pretty great.
Detroit's only had one stage.
Yeah, well, Detroit's but
that was a really fun place to play. Boy.
Yeah, that was
Detroit?
for me too. Yeah. I had some pretty good times at Old Detroit. I have some off-camera memories we can share at another time. Yeah. There isn't an inch of that club that I can't say I missed. I enjoyed pretty much the parking lot to the back door. And who was it? We just saw Jimmy Vazana. Do you remember Jimmy from Detroit?
Yeah.
Where did we see him?
Him and his wife Debbie were on Facebook on a boat.
He married Debbie. Do you remember Debbie, the waitress?
Married back
She was a bartender at Detroit.
Yeah.
She was a waitress?
Yeah.
They were married back
then. A server. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy was, he managed clubs. He managed Chaucer's Ale House out in Oakdale.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the first place we played regular night in Long Island. And he managed the Stanton Anderson Band, who was very much, they were the top band in Long Island when we started playing out there. And we opened shows for those guys. And they really, their following was very important in building our following too,
Yeah, Southern Rock, Stanton Anderson.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Where was Chaucer's on Long Island?
Oakdale.
Oakdale.
And it had those round, seating, blocks painted. I don't know if you ever went out in the club, but
who would do that? Why would you do that?
Well,
Closed that place down a few times.
that's where I went with Karen and Angie when you told Ross to come out and get me to come backstage to say hi to you.
Oh, good. Boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, more memories.
At Chaucer's Ale House?
That's where.
So I played there too.
Yes, you did.
I have a funny Chaucer's story.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I do too.
You would ask. So we were just starting to get established in Long Island, and our keyboard player, our first keyboard player we had, Rance, had been diagnosed with a cancerous tumor on his thyroid. So
Oh.
we had this band meeting, and he says, I'm going to have to drop out for a couple months and take care of this. And we said, oh, so we're going to go at 4-piece. We decided, and we learned a bunch of 4-piece type, ZZ Top type songs and stuff, and we were kind of nervous. This actually gave me a lot more confidence because I was singing most of the lead at that point too, which I'd never done before. I'd sang a few songs here and there, but Rance was our primary singer at that point. And so we go to Long Island, and people at Chaucer's, they loved us. They really liked this 4-piece, and so it was suggested by Kevin Brenner that we not lose any steam of any of our momentum. He says maybe you should pick up a singer, a fiddle player, harmonica player, or something for the big gigs, like with Stanton Anderson or the other bands that we were playing. We played at several big, there were bigger bars out there.
Sure.
So we had jammed with this harmonica player at Chaucer's Ale House. His name was Billy, and he lived nearby. And he wasn't great, but he wasn't awful either. So he was pretty good. So I'm very critical of harmonica players.
I hear that.
So Billy plays a couple of these gigs with us, and he was always there at Chaucer's because he lived nearby. But he would only play the big, important gigs, and he would do like Whammer Jammer. We had a couple songs we worked out with him. So we're in Chaucer's. This is our regular Wednesday night. We were there, and one of the bartenders waves for me to come over and says, "Hey, this is my buddy Jimmy. He's from Los Angeles. He's the best harmonica player I've ever seen." I was like, "Oh, really?" All of a sudden, there's Billy next to me. He starts talking to me, and they start saying, "Hey, we should have 2 harmonicas." And I said, "Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this." So the next thing we know, we're on stage with 2 harmonica players, and we do all of our typical, stuff, Statesboro blues, the harmonica stuff, right? So we get into this song, and we end this song, dun da dun da dun da dun da dun bum bum. The harmonica players start the song up again. So here we are. We're back into the song.
Ending song.
We end the song a second time. They start it up again. I look over at Tiny, and he is furious. Okay, he was like beet red. I could see. I know him too, so I know this is not going to end as well as we want it to. So we ended again. They started up the third time.
Did they do it on purpose?
Yes. So I see Tiny wave to our roadie, who was this guy. He was
like 6'8".
He was like 6'8", and he was not the smartest person in the world. He didn't. But he did not care. He did not care about anything. Absolutely.
If you told him to do something, he would do it.
So he walks over, and I read Tiny's lips, and he says, "Get these motherfuckers on stage right now." And I go, "Uh-oh." So Chaucer's had a stage about 4.5, 5 feet high. It was a pretty good stage. So I see this guy. His name was Honky, by the way. And he's no longer alive, so I don't feel too bad. So he walks over, he grabs Billy by the neck, just like this, and walks him over to the edge of the stage and goes, bink, right off the stage. I go, "Oh man, this is humiliating. This is awful." So then he walks over, and Big Jim from Los Angeles, who's wearing leather pants, a silk shirt, and had a Hal Burton briefcase full of harmonicas, by the way. He was Mr. Flash. He walks over and grabs Big Jim, takes him over to the edge of the stage, bink, drops him off the stage too. So I go, "Oh my God." I look at the band, we're all going, "Oh God, this is awful." So we end the song and we walk, and that's the set. We're going into the dressing room, which nobody wanted to go into that night, from what I remember. And there's Billy crying his eyes out. He goes, "I've never been so humiliated my whole life." So our bass player, Doug Graham, who never ever spoke up about anything, he says, "You dumb motherfucker." We ended the song 3 times. Did you guys realize that was it? And Big Jim goes, "You guys are assholes." Isn't that a crazy story? That's one of my worst moments on stage, by the way.
It was also a robbery.
But they just didn't want the song to end. They wanted to keep playing.
Jeff Gorilla says, "Turn Sonny's mic up, please."
What turn?
We can't do
I-
that.
um,
We don't have
Turn
that
Sonny's
ability, do
mic
we?
up. Well, yeah,
I
kind
think we
of.
need to turn
I
Tiny's
think-
mic up.
No, I can hit. Where are they coming through?
Is it loud enough?
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I
Very
can. I
good.
can push it here a little bit too.
Okay.
He must
Yeah,
be
it's good.
a fan, Jeff
Yeah.
Barilla.
Oh,
Oh yes.
yeah, he is.
He's a
Former
not,
roadie.
He's more than a fan. He's a friend.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, we can
You know,
hear
it's
you much
amazing how
better.
that happens over the years, right? I mean, there are, and when you see somebody that you haven't seen in 15 years, and it's somebody that you spent 20 years with, it's like just plugging it right back in, and it starts right up. And I think that's, I've thought about that. How do we do that? And because our business, if it's at certain points, is a business of goodbye. I mean, you're always leaving someplace, I'd see you later, take it easy, have a good trip, bye bye. And, I mean, if you're hardcore touring, whether it's tri-state area or the world, you're leaving someplace almost every day. And I think the reason that we pick up as fast as we do is because of that. Because I don't have the time to reestablish that whole, thing. It's like, yeah, let's just get back to it.
Well, Mousy has something to say about the sound here, of
Oh,
course.
really?
OMG, do I have to come in and mix this show too? She's a feisty little thing,
Wow.
That's why she's on our team. I want you to know that. Okay.
isn't she? Now, was she your
Tell her
sound
yes.
Right.
person?
Well, thank you.
She their sound person?
No, not
Yes.
that. No,
Yes,
she was
she was.
then. She was.
No, no, no,
not
no,
then.
no. She was
Molly Cribb.
she was Molly Cribb.
Molly
She worked
Cribb,
with them.
all
She
right.
was the lighting director for them at the point. So
Okay. You said she knew all of your songs, so I didn't know if that's
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows the material.
right.
Yeah.
knows the material.
Yeah,
That's
it's great,
funny.
man. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
OMG,
really
do
cool.
I have to come in and mix this show too?
Well, now is she talking about our broadcast?
Well, about turning Sunny up.
Well, I turned on my. How did I do, Mouse? I did okay, right? I have a little boost on
Yeah,
there.
but she's thinking it should have already been up. And
Well,
you
of
shouldn't
course.
have been told.
Of course she is. Of course she is. But the Neumann didn't get there yet, and the Manly isn't working quite right for him. So we'll figure it out. They-
Okay, and Jeff says that's better. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? When they say you're too loud,
Mousy says good job, Steve.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Mousy, we're gonna see you Friday.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see you Fridays.
Yeah, before you mix them on Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah,
So what does that mean?
that means we're gonna be prepared.
Well,
We're gonna have some material for Mousy.
oh, that's some material for
Watch
Mousy.
out.
Yeah, you guys, man, are you playing this weekend, or are you rehearsing, or is it just Sunday?
We're rehearsing this week, and Tani and I are doing stuff to working out our guitar parts. I think we have probably the meat of the most
Of the work
stuff
to do,
to
yes.
do.
We got most of the work to do.
We worked with Joe and me. We have a new drummer, Ryan Carter. He's from New Jersey.
Uh huh.
He's really good, and Joe and I have rehearsed with him several times over here, and Tani and I are going to work out our parts, and then we're all going to get together this week, and it's going to be, we're really excited about it. And,
Man, that's good.
great.
Think about that. Think
Thank
about
you,
what you're
Mousy.
saying. Yes, thank you, Mousy.
Yeah, that's her.
Um,
Uh-oh.
Think about what you're saying. Really, I mean, I don't think I ever imagined life at 60 or 65 or 70 or so. I don't think I ever really thought that far. I think I stopped thinking about it when 50 came around. And that was it. I don't want to think about it anymore. But then I realized that I get up most days excited about what I have to do in that day. Whether it's compose this or mix this or, it's
Chainsaw that.
here, chainsaw. There's a lot of ranching going on here these days. A lot of chainsawing and
We
weed
got some buried
whacking.
in the backyard.
Yeah. But
He does a
it's-
show called Buried in the Backyard. By the way.
yeah, I do. Anyway, the point is to get up and be excited about anything at this time in your life, I don't know a lot of civilians that do that. You know?
That's exactly right.
You said the connections between friends, old friends. Tiny and I, every time we get together, it's almost as if no time has elapsed since the last time we saw each other. And today was no different. I mean, he brings his guitar in. It was almost like the first time I came to New Jersey. He had my guitar pulled out within 4 minutes of the time I walked through the front door, and we started working on songs. That's fast. I mean, like that's the way I joined the band. And I hadn't seen him the first reunion we did back in I think it was '98, I believe. He came to this bar that Joe and I, my brother and I, were playing, and I look over at him, and he had his car key hanging from his left side pocket, just exactly like I had mine. And it was like, I pointed to mine. I was like, what? We haven't seen each other in 30 years or so, and it was pretty amazing. Anyway, there's all kinds of not just stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, we both had kids the same age and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different. I mean, that could be if you guys both worked at the Ford plant. You know what I mean? It's the other thing. It's that unspoken language, that musical connection. Yeah, you can have kids the same age, you can do this, but it's the music that just kind of sums it all up. You know what I mean? I'm not discounting the kids or the age or anything else, but I find that music, I think it keeps us enthusiastic. I think it keeps us...
Well, sports keep some people enthusiastic. They're sports friends,
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going out and playing any sports.
I stopped.
I mean,
What did you play?
The last time I played a sport, we were playing basketball on this local playground in Point Pleasant, the area we all lived in. And it was me and Tiny and Joe, 3 guys well over 6 feet tall, and another guy, 4 of us playing 4-on-4 with local 8 or 10-year-olds, and they were kicking our asses. And I think I used to be pretty good at basketball, but I was not very good that day. I'll never forget this. But I fell down. I fell down, trying not to land on this young boy. We were both fighting for a rebound, and I broke my fall with my left hand, which I had just gotten to where I could play a bar chord without hurting because I'd fallen on the ice. And I said, "That's it. I'm not going to do any more sports." And Mouse's old band, Molly Cribb, challenged Southern Cross to a softball game. And I said, "You guys play softball? I'm not going to be there." And they all called me names and told me I was a
party pooper. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Listen.
Hey, sissy.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say it because the last sport I played. I mean, I'm a golfer, so you get to keep playing that until you can't play anymore. But I'm thinking more about football or stuff where you get
No, the
hurt.
last thing you
You
did,
played football.
I played football when I was younger. Yeah.
that kid was
Oh.
skateboarding.
Yeah. Okay.
When he was 50.
I was fit.
Yes.
The last abstract risk-taking thing I did
Yes.
was on a skateboard in a parking lot. I'm
Dermatologist.
sure I have skin
He's
cancer.
got
and
a bump.
got a bump. I'm 50. It's all the classic
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yep.
Now I'm going to this dermatologist. What the hell is this thing? And I'm ready to die. I'm just
Yeah.
ready for this to be the end of it because I figure I'm seeing it on the outside, but it's got to be like all the way through my ribs and
Yeah.
going up my throat.
He's one of those,
I know
no,
I'm not really
cut
one of
my
those.
arm off.
I'm really not one of those, but
Yeah, you are.
under the wrong circumstances, I can be one of those.
Yeah.
I'm walking through this frickin' parking lot, and I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were out doing that thing in the 70s, I was skateboarding like a crazy person.
I don't know how
I mean,
they know that.
I would bring my stick because I would bring my stick to Glen Island and be doing floor things during sound check. But anyway,
Oh, that would be a good place to do it.
it was a great place to do
Yeah.
it. I did it at Speaks too. I did it at a lot of places because I always had my stick with me.
Yeah, he
Anyway.
was men's senior
Yeah.
champion skateboarder
Yeah, I
in
was a-
1976.
Yeah, 76. I was a competitive skateboarder. Nothing.
Wow.
But so I don't know when the last time I really skated with anybody was, but I'm walking, getting ready to get
It
the
was
death
years.
sentence from, yeah, it had to be decades maybe. I'm
Yeah.
walking to get the death sentence about this bump, right? And this kid goes, "Hey, mister, watch this." And he's got some board,
Skateboard.
and he does one of those kick flips, you
Like
know?
yeah, about 13-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
12-year-old kid kick flips the thing and lands back on it, which is like the new, that's the newer kind of style.
Steve
And
just
I'm like,
looked
yeah,
at
that's
him,
great,
yeah,
kid.
that's
Yeah,
great.
it's great. It's
I'm
great.
going in to get told I have
So I
cancer.
go in, and the guy says, "It's a freaking bump." You know what I mean? It'll be gone day after tomorrow.
That's nothing.
And I'm saying, really? Really?
Yeah, all of a
This is
sudden
not-
he's jumping and kicking
and
his heels together.
so I'm like, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I said, hey, kid,
Give me that board.
give me that board. Watch this. And now, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to blow this kid's mind for the rest of his life, or I'm going to give him a story to tell by eating some chrome on the back of a car. And because I was competitive skaters, and one of my big moves was a handstand. And I take this kid, I'm 50 years old, take this kid's board, and I run and I put the thing down and I do a handstand, and I'm thinking to myself, are
Across
you
the
out of
parking
your
lot.
and
Kids in
but
Mount
I
Taco.
go right up and I'm in my thing and I'm swerving and it just comes right back and the kid's like and I said
And that was the
that's
last
it.
thing he did.
Blew his mind. All right.
That's it.
Yep.
Made it out. That's it.
Yeah, but the kid had, "Hey, mister, watch this,"
Yeah,
and then he
you-
came back with, "Hey, kid,
Hey kid, watch
this."
That had to blow that kid's mind.
I saw some old dude do a handstand.
Yeah, some dude took my board. Wow.
Yeah.
Or you
And
should
that
have
was
seen what
about-
happened to this
It was
guy.
about 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. God. So I tell you what, guys,
Tiny,
I'm excited for you. I really am. I
I think
think,
Tiny's talking too much.
yeah, we should, turn his mic down.
Quiet one.
I'm really, yeah.
Oh, like Inch Whistle.
I knew one of those.
He was not the quiet one, though. He really
Yeah.
was not.
Yeah, he said, I'm not quiet. Everybody else is too loud.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, it's gotta be. You got to be excited to get back there and to do that. There's nothing.
Very excited, man. Never thought it would happen, to be honest with you.
Well, how did it happen? How did it happen?
Kevin Brenner.
Yeah, Kevin Brenner called us up and said, "You guys need to do a 50-year reunion."
Actually, Tiny called me, sent me an email, and everybody had been. We actually had a meeting several years ago, right before the pandemic, and we just said, well, maybe we'll try this, and then what it was like 2 years go by, we couldn't do anything.
3, yeah.
So
Wow.
Tiny says, "Are we ever going to play again?" And it was something like that, and I said, "Yes, let's do it."
Wow.
And then it just started snowballing and running away. And anyway, we're very excited. We have 2 members of our old road crew are going to be there with us. My son is going to be my guitar tech for me, and my daughter's going to get to hear us too. And I'm really happy about that. My sisters are coming in. It's going to be almost like a family reunion. And for me, this is stuff that's going to be happening.
For you.
That's
They're in Tennessee.
yeah.
Tennessee.
Your family's from Tennessee.
Yes.
My family lives in Florida now. My sisters, they live in Orlando, Winter Park area.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they're going to come up. They've got, we're planning on getting together and doing this. And my nephew, who's a doctor, he's going to come in too, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Well, so let me ask you this.
You're going to get to
it's-
do your handstand.
It's one show.
I can't.
Right?
One show, yes.
It's one.
What show? Yeah.
Do you want to keep it going? Do you want? I mean, is there a circumstance that would see it continue? I mean, what does that look like if you've even considered it?
Well, we put so much work into this. My opinion here. This is that
All right.
If
Uh-oh.
something comes along, a private event or something, I would really welcome something like that. Maybe the last reunion we did, and it just didn't seem to work out. But I thought if things go well, maybe we could get together a couple, 3 times a year and do corporate parties or something. You know, some of our fans have done really well, and they uh, they might want to do this kind of stuff. And they've actually reached out to us, and so we're not ruling out anymore. But this is the one of the like a one up for us for this. We'd hope to do a date in Long Island and one in Westchester. There was just the venues were just out of reach for us, and
That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not the golden time, where there's a venue, oh, really? Okay, I'll just walk halfway down the block and play there. Um, it's not as easy as it once was, but I mean, would you consider making it an annual event or, I mean, is it a 50-year anniversary? Is that what it is?
It
yeah,
actually is, yes.
it is.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible, man.
I
That's
joined the band in '74, and they got together in '72, right?
Correct,
That's
yes.
what it was. So that's 50 years, without a doubt. And
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, it's like, yeah, I know something about 50 years. I'll tell you that.
Yes, don't we all?
So, is there any new music in the set, or is there anything that somebody can look forward to? Is there a classic? Is there something?
one of the things is we recorded 16 songs, I think. And one of the original songs that we had, we came up with right after we recorded the last of those 16 songs. So it's not been recorded. All we
Ah,
have is a couple live recordings of it, and we actually had fans request this, so we may try to throw that one in too. And we're going to be doing some originals in the set, and I'm looking forward to it. And
and is there swag?
swag,
Yeah.
Yes. Merchandise.
merch. Oh yes, there's going to be. Pardon me for bringing that up.
we keep him put away most of the time.
Swag. I'm thinking. Is there swag? I'm thinking. Is that my clothes? Is this the way
I
I
gotta
walk?
like
Is
walk
this the
down the
way my
street weird.
personality? What are we talking about here? Swag. How do you define swag?
Swag, stolen without a gun. That's what it stands for. And, T-shirts, hard goods are CDs and
Oh
so
yeah.
on.
Yes.
Now, this is interesting. We Melanie Chance is the girl that I've been playing music with for the past 12 years. She's an artist. Um, you're an artist, and working with her, I've never worked with somebody that just thought so far out of the box like she does, and it's really been amazing. But she's put together a lot of our stuff, and she did a podcast for us, which is really pretty cool. Like to promote that if we could.
Why?
But
You can
it's
plug
it's
anything
this
you want. That's why we're here.
it's the story of our band, and it's in 4 parts right now. She's going to do a couple more parts maybe after.
What's it called? What? That's great.
It's called Just Can't Wait. That's the name of one of our original songs.
Just can't wait. It's a
Yeah.
podcast. Just can't wait. So,
Podcast.
It's on
yeah,
Spotify.
Apple,
probably
Apple,
everywhere.
and I think maybe YouTube. I'm not sure. But anyway, Melanie helped put together this T-shirt for us, and she went through all of my memorabilia. I have plenty of stuff on my computer, all pictures and things, and I've tried to scan all the photographs that I've had and throughout the years and stuff. And she took one of our old schedules that we used to print up. You remember we used to have mailing lists, and we
Sure.
we had 12,000 at one point. I thought it was 10,000. It was 12,000.
Wow.
So it cost us about $4,000 a month to send this out to people, and beginning of computer print labels and all this kind of stuff. It was a major undertaking. Nowadays, you just hit send and everything goes out, right? It's pretty amazing. But anyway, she took one of these schedules. It was for March, and it had some really cool dates. We did some shows with Dickie Betts and Chuck Leavell and Butch Trucks and Jimmy Hall. Couple concerts like that, but it was also St. Patrick's Day was in March, right?
Mhm.
So one of the bar specials was ladies drink, or everybody drinks free from 8 till 10 p.m. or something like that. Which these days nobody can even believe that this kind of stuff went on, right? 50-cent beers, like my son. We go to a bar the other night. He says the beers are $12 here. I said, really,
Yeah.
really, $12 for a beer. So at any rate, 50-cent beer. Just the list of all these dates with all the bar specials on it was really kind of funny. That's on the back of our shirt, and our new
Oh,
logo is on the front. So
that's great, man. I
50
mean,
years.
I wanted to, we had way back, way back, we had a photographer. Our manager was a real good photographer, and there was like reams of black and white pictures of us at every stage of our career, from the very, very beginning, and so blah 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 blah. And I said, guys, we should put out like a picture book or something. We should take all do like a little tabletop book because we
Coffee
did
table
our
book.
a coffee table book. And for when we did our reunion, I thought that would have been fun. Pictures of the old clubs and the whole thing. But really nice. I mean, the guy was an excellent photographer, so it's not like, half of somebody's head sticking out someplace. They were all really nice pictures. But we didn't. It didn't happen for whatever reason. But it's good that you're creating a memory. I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's really that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
First time I ever saw you guys, by the way, or one of your posters of the Rat Race Choirs was the bar we played in Armonk.
Gigi's North.
That was it, GG's. And we were always partying in the parking lot with guys smoking, pot and stuff. And they would say, "You got to hear Rat Race Choir." And I saw the posters inside, and that was the first time I even heard of you guys. So it must have been like 75, 76.
Yeah, though, man, it's funny that you mentioned Gigi's, because at the end we played there. There was a portion of time where we played there pretty regularly, and it was a good club, sounded good, all that wood inside, and we brought our own stuff, everything, production, sound and lights. And at the end of the show, everybody would leave. They'd lock the place up. We'd all be hanging out, and I'd be sitting on the edge of the stage smoking a joint. That's just, I didn't even bother going into the parking lot, right? And one night, and I've told this story a million times, so I'll make it quick. One night, I'm sitting there, and I'm smoking this, one of those joints with the seeds. It's popping all over the place, and it's just, and a cop walks in the front door. They didn't lock the door.
God.
Cop walks in the front door. I got a toke. I got like the monster Marley toke in my lungs. And the thing is behind my back, said smoke, like, it's like ridiculous. And I'm like, and the cop says, let it out. Go ahead. Let it out. And I'm like, and he said, let's see. And I give it to him, and he goes, pretty good, man. They freaking set me up. I almost had a heart attack.
Oh my God.
But I mean, he was a real cop, but he was also a pothead. So they said, "Oh, listen, every night they play, Luongo sits on the end of the stage and smokes a big fat joint, and I'm gonna leave the door unlocked. Come in and scare the shit out of him." Thank you.
I used to be amazed at how open and not how open the people were in the bars in New York. We played a place called Fields in Queens, and they were people just smoking pot at their tables and all. It was just like there was nothing to it. And meanwhile, it's illegal until this last year, right? So it was pretty crazy stuff. Did you ever play Beggars Opera?
Beggars Opera in Queens.
Yeah.
Did I ever play Beggars Opera? I'm wondering, which horror story do I tell now?
I've got one too. This is why I was going to bring it up.
Right.
That was the one where
Yeah, that was
they weren't gonna give you your fee
Yeah,
because it was in the 80s.
It was in the 80s, and
Right.
and the guy, if the promoter says to me, "Yeah, Rat Race, you guys are over."
Yeah.
I said, "Over?
That's all I
Really?
gotta
We're
tell him.
over?" he said, yeah, he said, I said, and I'm looking for a big guarantee, and he's laughing at me. And I
Right.
said, you know what, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give me 100% of the door. I don't want a guarantee. I don't want anything. Give me 100% of the door, and we'll call it a night. And back then, we pulled in almost $8,000 at the door that night, and that was like a lot more than I was asking for. And we did 2 nights, Friday and a Saturday, and did the same thing both nights. And the guy was kicking himself in the ass.
Sure.
So but that's not the horror story. But the horror story is different.
I don't
Go
remember
ahead.
the horror story.
That's where I disappeared. Under where
With Julie?
yeah, I don't that doesn't matter. I start time is going on, and I start to notice this very strange thing happening in the inside of my nose, which I don't quite kind of I don't really understand it, but it appears as though there's a perforation or some sort of thing where light comes out of the other side. So I'm getting worried. I'm thinking, man, what am I going to do? I can't do this to myself anymore. And the light girl for our band, we had a female light girl, which is like a male light girl. And she says, oh, listen, she said, if you don't want to fuck your nose up, just smoke it. And I'm thinking, now this is 70s. This is not crackhead, whatever it is, right? So I guess it's freebase. I had never heard of it before. And I said, well, how am I going to do that on stage? Right? Because, I could turn around and get a clip in a minute. But so she said, well, between songs, anyway, I put a towel over my head, right? Beggar's Opera. I'm on stage. This girl hands me the thing. I do the thing. The towel comes off my head. I turn around and I start playing the song, and I'm just gone. I'm not there. And the next thing I realize, I am there, and I'm playing the song, and I look around, and it's like, did anybody notice that I was not here? Because, I'm telling you, and that was so that's my heart. It freaked me the fuck out. Thank you. I'm not doing it that way. Anyway.
You mentioned the end of the nights of some of these places, right?
Yes.
We were at Beggar's Opera one night. We finished playing there, and we're in the dressing room, and I'll hear all this shouting, and I poke my head out and look, and this guy, one of the bouncers, has a shotgun on this guy's face, and he is saying, "You're not so brave now, are you, man? You're not so brave now." And all of a sudden someone yells, "Cops!" And the guy takes off running, and the cops come in, and this guy goes, "They had a gun on me. They had a gun on me." And the cops drag the guy out and beat the shit out of him. Just like, what? These are amazing. Those are amazing times. It was completely nuts.
Talk about it, man. I'll tell you an amazing thing that I saw. It was very rare that all 4 of us drove to work at the same time. But, from time to time, there was a reason. I think Mark had a 4-door, and for some reason we all decided to ride together. And we're on the Long Island Expressway.
And Mark was driving?
Yeah, Mark was driving.
Oh, y'all
Which
were
is,
great.
that's 10
Yeah,
tickets
somebody
for
was
that fucking
desperate.
ride. Thank you very much. Anyway. And we're on the Long Island Expressway, and we're in the slow lane, but we're going 70 miles an hour, right? And there's a cop coming up behind us, right? He's obviously chasing somebody, or he's doing something. He's not coming after us. And when he gets to us, because it's the Long Island Expressway, so you know what's out there. When he gets to us, he pulls over into the on the shoulder, where nobody's in the lane. Only what he doesn't see, it's like right next to us. What he doesn't see is a parked car with no lights on. And it had to be, we were doing 70, and he was passing us pretty good. And he just whacked this car, and you could see it go through the windshield and come back into the car. And it was just like...
Movie, huh?
Like a movie, like special effects.
Like, what are the odds?
And so
that car
about
would end
I'm like freaked out. I said, we got to do something, you guys. And there were about a mile down the road, there was another cop with somebody pulled over, and we said, look, man, one of one of your buddies was just in a real bad accident. You better,
Man.
and so he let whoever the person was go. So you might remember that next time. And
But what are the
yeah,
odds of that?
I mean, and right now you couldn't have done it more perfectly timed if you were doing it in a movie, and it's etched in my mind seeing because all of a sudden it's there and then it's gone and it's just.
He probably didn't have a seatbelt on because there were no seatbelt laws.
I don't know. I mean, he went through the windshield and came back through. It was horrifying. So anyway, know any good jokes? No. I'm kidding.
Can you have an opening act on Sunday?
Yeah. Please go
No.
out the program for us.
No, the last time we did a reunion, it was 2010. We did one with Kinderhook, really good band, great band,
Yeah, those guys are great.
and we did one set, and many of our fans said they really wish that we had a little more time, and we decided just to do it all ourselves this time, and that's what we're really going for, and when we got the deal with the Osprey, and I think it's going to be great.
Well, I tell you what, the thing about it is, when we did ours in 2017, we did 2 nights, and they were both sold out. But could you do that every weekend forever? No. I mean, that's just not the way it works anymore.
No.
Right. And if you still have fans from then that are still living that lifestyle now,
Yeah.
maybe you don't want them coming to the gig. But I mean, I think it's fantastic that you're doing it. I think your fans are going to make it all the more worth your while.
Yeah.
And I hope you do it again. I mean,
Yeah.
Mousie's going to make that sound.
yeah, Mousie's going to make it sound good. And maybe what you do, if you're doing a live recording, maybe you put it online for the people, or maybe who knows what you do, stream it.
We're gonna be filming it, and we hope we can do all the whatever it takes to sync it all up, and we're gonna have a good sound for it. Like I said, it just seems like everything is starting to fall into place the past couple of days, and I'm very excited about it. And
I am too.
That's a great way to feel.
The last 6 months have just flown by, man. It seems like 6 months ago I was talking about this thing happening. A year ago we were thinking about it. I mentioned something on one of your shows one night.
Yeah, you did.
Friday night.
You're talking about it, sure.
And it's, if we all live long enough, and here it comes next Sunday. So
About that, man.
Well, that's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. And again, if there was any way, shape, or form, I was totally, honored by the thought. So when the time is right, we'll find some music together.
awesome.
yeah,
But I'm sure you're gonna kill them, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
If you guys want to come on Friday and just shout it out to whoever's, please.
Yeah.
We're about
Free for all
sharing
Friday.
it. It's free for all Friday.
we really appreciate that. We're going to be rehearsing Friday. This is going to be our Thursday and Friday. We're rehearsing it in the nightclub. In fact, I shouldn't be telling people.
So if you
I probably shouldn't say that.
tell your fans that at exactly 7:25, you're going to broadcast 5 minutes of rehearsal from whatever. That's a lot of fun.
Well, Mousie says it's going to be amazing.
Okay. Oh, so Mousy, why am I even talking to them? What is it? Why am I doing
Because
that?
she doesn't
Mousy,
have her own show. So,
but she is her own show, and let's do. Is Mousy going to be there for rehearsal?
She's invited, definitely. We're not sure.
Mouse, Mouse, right?
okay, well, now the viewers, Michael Newton from Boston said this show flew by.
Yeah, it did.
And Gail said, thanks for another great show, Longos. Next time, please tell Tiny not to talk so much. And today, she agrees. Please don't talk so much, Tiny.
Well, you didn't. He was holding up signs. You didn't see that? Or the camera's too low? You didn't see the everything.
He said what he had to say.
Man, you know what?
He had to say swag.
All he's got to do is
merchandise.
talk.
Like swag. He taught me
I'm here
what
to
swag
interpret.
was. Okay.
I'm here to interpret.
Swag. That's very funny.
Stolen without a gun. Okay, I got that today too.
Stolen without a gun. Yeah, that's where it came from. But yeah, I heard a preacher say something about swag, referring to the new version, because that's our version. From the '70s, swag is, merch.
Merch.
But swag now is, coolness.
Yeah.
You got.
That's
Got swag.
so I was correct. Then that's what I was thinking.
Well, right, because you're just ahead of your time. That's all. But I don't want you walking around with a gold chain, thinking, it's not gonna work.
Well, he's gonna have his son
But
there now.
the preacher said, he said, man, I felt like I had swag. He said, I don't even know what swag is, but I felt like I had it.
Uh-oh.
I was
Mousy
laughing.
said Tiny is the brains of the outfit.
Oh God, we're in trouble then.
Okay. Is it
Okay.
I come
Mouse?
up with some good ideas. I'll put it that way. It doesn't have anything to do with music.
Well, the best idea is the fact that you guys are playing, and please, anything we can do to promote the show,
Yep.
let us know. But I really think, like I said, tell your friends that there's a lot of people not going to be able to make it. Right? I mean, there's people from out of town. Maybe they'd like to see 5 minutes of the show, of rehearsal or something like that. Mouse, you'll work it out. Just a nice way for you to say hello. You're more than welcome to the time. It's free for all Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are actually going to be filming a little bit of the rehearsal for this podcast that I was talking about. And by the way, the podcast is four episodes, and we included Joe Basirico from Tui's. I don't know. Did you guys ever play Tui's?
Yeah, I got all my windows of my car smashed at Dewey's, but yeah.
That window smashed at the bar. That was Emmett's club, and
Oh, Emmett. I remember Emmett, sure.
we got this brand new truck, and we come outside, and all of the mirrors on our truck and our van and our windshield were all broken at Emmett's.
Well, like I said, that happened to me at Tui's, and the strangest thing in the world is to drive home with no windshield and no glasses on or anything. I mean,
Oh
it's
God!
what a strange
Yeah, that's
freaking.
when we were married.
How fast could you go?
Well, I just drove. I mean, the glasses are already where it's going to go. But it's just how the weird sensation of having the wind blowing in your face while you're driving a car.
So Joe is in one of these podcasts. We also have a couple. I think another club owner. We have Rick Van Danzian, who had Circus.
Oh, Circus! I have videos from Circus.
He wrote the book, the Rock and Roll Meltdown, which is really pretty cool book about the demise of the club scene. We also have JJ French, who talks about the club scene, and he has some very interesting points. Nobody could believe that the scene was like it was for all of us. He goes, and then you go to Manhattan, and it was all at CBGB's, and it was just, and those worlds never collided, and that's his words.
Never collided. They
Yeah.
never
And,
collided.
it's so that's in one of our podcasts too. I mean, it's very, very interesting. Melanie has done a phenomenal job with this thing.
That's
She
awesome.
really has. She's really been.
I'm really proud of it,
an integral
so,
part of this, yes.
Yeah.
Well, anytime listen, tag me in anything that you do, and I'll I'll push it around wherever I can. I've got a couple followers here and there. I would love to help, man.
Thanks,
Anytime.
man.
Well, it's basically a nice little. It's almost like a little. It's a story, right? It's almost like a little audio movie of what was happening in those days, and it was very interesting. And I would love for you to listen to it sometime.
Oh, I would
Oh,
actually
yeah.
absolutely listen to it. I do a podcast, and I'm overdue for my next season. So, I just haven't. I've been so crazy with this new release and all the stuff that's coming out. I mean, there's so much.
They
Thank
might not know
God
what you're
happening.
talking about.
Oh, I signed a 2-record deal for Entwistle Rarities, things that we wrote. Actually, two demos that we wrote for the Who, and a bunch of things. Other demo. It's a bunch of real rare stuff. It's a unique record. So I signed a deal with Deco for Volume 1 and Volume 2 of that.
So,
They're gonna do a record with me of my stuff, so I'm like, I mean, it's wow. I know what it's like to be excited about today, and I'm excited for you guys. I think it's
And
great.
where can people see hear
Yeah.
the podcast?
Well, what is the podcast again? How do they find it?
I already
uh,
wrote.
it's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify. It's Just Can't Wait.
Just
Just
can't
Can't-
wait. It's the name of the.
Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I sent the link to Angus if you want to post that on there. But
Oh, I'll be happy to post it. That's good.
that's awesome. What was I going to say? Gone.
Yeah, I know how that is.
I know what it was. You mentioned the Who. When I was 16 years old, now before I was a Southern rocker, I went to the Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I started playing music professionally, and the billing was Blues Magoos, the
Oh,
Who,
yep,
and Herman's Hermits.
yeah.
1967.
60, I think it was 66 or 67, and I watched Pete Townsend. He played a Strat and was just rocking. I mean, like it was incredible. And I have been a Who fan since the very beginning. My favorite album is Sell Out, I think.
Oh wow, yeah, that's interesting.
The Who's
I love
Yeah.
I love the
That's
song Tattoo.
name of the podcast.
yeah, too.
Check out Sonny's podcast on Apple and Spotify. And what's the name of it again?
Again, you're gonna do
Just
that?
Can't Wait.
Just can't wait.
Okay.
Yours is going to be just can't remember.
Well, I can't.
Write it down. That's why God
Well,
made
because
computers.
their friend
No, it's-
Jeff says that we can get it in Florida, so I'm thinking.
Oh, then well, you can get it anywhere. I mean, it's
yeah,
like our
I'm thinking.
podcast. Anyway, guys, man, like I said, no pressure, but if you can, if you want to promote just to some of the, the people that won't be able to make the show, is I heard, and I will close with an interesting story. I'm not really the sports guy, but we've been watching this Lakers legacy thing, and it's very
Yeah.
interesting. And the guy who owned the Lakers, who has owned them through the whole, all the big years, bought a television station and decided to broadcast the home games. And his daughter said, "That's going to affect ticket sales. Why would you do that?" And he said, "How many tickets do we sell?" And she said, 72,000. And he said, "How many games do we sell them to?" And she said, "Every game." He said, "So how many people don't get to see the Lakers play?"
Right.
That's
And
a great idea.
And he was the guy, the
And
first
he-
person to come up with putting.
he came up with the dancing girls, with the cheerleaders. He was
That's
the
not
first
what
one.
I was going to say.
Well, that's what I
He
said.
put the name. It was called the Forum.
Oh, the branding. He was
The
the first. Yeah,
branding.
he
So he
needed
got-
to raise a couple $1 million, so he sold the branding on the forum. He was the first guy to do that.
First person to do that.
Brilliant guy. If you see the documentary, but the point.
Self-made guy too.
The
He
point
wasn't
was
a millionaire.
that if you can get some of those other fans a little bit of entertainment, they probably would dig it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling many of those sports guys, they love their fans like we love our fans too. And
Oh yeah.
it's all good.
well, like I said, we would all enjoy seeing a few minutes or hearing from whatever. Especially like I said, if you want to push on the on the website, I'm sure you guys have fans all over the place that aren't wish they could get to see the show. They could get to see something. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's an open door if you feel like using it.
And thank you very much for this,
My
dude.
pleasure. So on that happy note, my brothers, have a great gig. We hope to see you Friday.
I'm sure it's going to be great.
I know it's going.
Bye bye, Lori.
And man, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Steve.
We'll be thinking about you, and maybe Mousy will live stream the show. Maybe Mousy will live stream the show.
She knows how to.
Oh.
Okay.
The phone's ringing.
Well, that doesn't mean we wouldn't like to see it.
Well, there you go.
Anyway,
Mouse
guys,
it.
I'm gonna let you get out of here. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
man.
for being here. All the best. Say hello to the rest of the boys, and
And have fun.
I'll see you out there.
Well, do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Will
Thanks,
do.
Lori. Bye.
All right.
Bye,
Very
guys.
cool. Thanks. Now, where's my... What's everybody laughing at?
Huh.
We'll right back.
No.
That's fantastic. That really gave me a charge to know that those guys. I mean, I know how they feel, where they're headed, and what's
Well,
what the next couple
yeah.
of days, and that's just amazing.
You
So
can feel the excitement.
and that's the way it should be. It really should be fully embraced, and it's good. I'm happy that it's going that way. So if you're a fan, be there if you can, or show
Right.
your support one way or the other.
Sunday, 4:00 at the Osprey
The Osprey Club, is it now?
Club. It used to be the Osprey Hotel.
And it's where in New Jersey? Matasquan? Was
I
that
don't know.
it?
It started with an M and it's Indian. But if you look up
I think it was
Osprey
Matasquan.
Hotel in New Jersey, you can find it. And I wrote it earlier.
Right,
so.
she wrote it earlier. We will post
Or-
it on the site,
You know
or
what? They probably go on their Facebook page. I'm sure they're saying. Or go to Mousie's Facebook page. She'll tell you. Mousy Paula.
is she the best or what? Okay, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us. Tomorrow, anything goes Wednesday. And believe me, the way this week is going, anything goes.
Good night, everybody.
So if I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Good night.